G'day ladies and gentlemen, Piedudeaus here and welcome back to my BuildCraft review. In this video I'm going to be looking at the three engines which you would have seen in the last few videos that I've actually done, and they are your redstone engine, your redstone engine, otherwise sometimes called the wood engine or wooden engine. This one is the steam engine, or sometimes called the stone, and this one which is your combustion engine, sometimes called the iron engine. Mainly why they call those other names is simply because that's what they're made out of. Okay, so without any more further ado, we'll just get straight into it and show you how these engines are actually crafted and how they operate. Cool. Alright, so this one here is, as you can quickly see, this one is the redstone, otherwise or sometimes called the wooden engine. And I'll quickly just bring up NEI and I can quickly show you how this is crafted. So there's the redstone engine, and it is crafted with a piston, a couple of wooden gears, a bit of glass, and some wooden planks on the top. That will give you your redstone engine. Now, obviously the gears are some part of BuildCraft, and I would quickly show you how you craft them. It's very simple. To get a wooden gear, you simply need 4 sticks in like a diamond shape, and that will give you the wooden gear. Very simple, very cool. Alright, so the thing with the redstone engine is that it doesn't actually have like an interface. It doesn't take any rules, so it doesn't have like a GUI or anything, and you do not need any fuel. All it requires to operate is simply a redstone signal, whether it be a redstone torch, a lever, or whatever. That's pretty much all it'll take. And as you can see, it's now got the redstone sort of effect, sparkly stuff coming out of the side of it, and that's a good indication that it is now getting power. It's pretty cool. And just to make sure it is actually working, we can drop down some of these conductive pipes. And the thing is, because there was these conductive pipes went down, you'll see the engine is not connected to anything. That's why it's not doing anything at the moment. So to actually get that to work, all you've got to simply do is use a wrench, which I'll quickly just show you. If anyone forgot how you actually craft a wrench, I'm not sure if I've actually showed it or not. It is simply a stone gear, which is crafted with a wooden gear in the middle, surrounded by cobblestone. That gives you the stone gear. And go back onto it, and then 3 iron ingots in that shape. That will give you the wrench. Alright, so all you got to do is just simply right click, and now you can see the engine changes direction. Is now pointed at these, and you should see the little blue beam going through there. Boop. And now the engine is working just fine. So that's it. The thing with the redstone engine also is that over time it will not actually explode. It'll just keep working, because unlike you got with the steam and the combustion engine, they will explode over time if the energy that's coming into them isn't removed or transferred elsewhere. They will overheat and explode. Generally speaking, the redstone will not do that. It's just pretty much just place and forget, pretty much. Also with the redstone engine is that, as you can see, it's pulsing very slowly. Now, initially it does build up, energy over time. It will speed up and get a lot quicker. As you can see, it's only got this blue bit just here at the moment, as they all do. That means the engine's cool. So it'll then go to another stage, which will turn green, which means it's then heating up. It'll then turn orange, which means that it's getting obviously pretty much at optimal. It's getting pretty damn hot. And then with this engine, it'll then fluctuate between orange and red. It'll just flick between them. When it's at that point, that is then when it is at its optimal range, and you just want to leave it. You don't want to touch it, because that's when it's working at its most efficient speed. But as you can see at the moment, it's only very slowly just pushing forward to the end there, and that's all it's doing. You may also notice that when that blue beam comes out too, it only happens when the when this bit that's moving gets to the end here. That's the only time when the energy is actually pushed out of the engine into the pipes. And so yeah, that is pretty much what the redstone engine does, and that's pretty much how it's crafted and what its use is for. Well, what its main use would be for, as you would have seen in my other videos, it's more used just as a to help extract like your liquids into your waterproof piping, or extracting items out of out of chests and so forth, and out of other source like that. It's not the best to use for transferring energy. I just simply use these pipes just for more poops and giggles. Alright, so that's the redstone. Now we'll have a look at this one here, which is the steam engine, otherwise known as probably some might call it the stone engine. Okay, so what does it do? Well, very similar. There's no real issues with that. It's just simply crafted, if I can actually find the right thing, like that. It uses a piston. Here's a couple of stone gears, which you would have seen me show before when I showed the wrench. It's got a bit of glass and 3 cobblestone at the top, and that will give you the steam engine. Now, unlike the redstone engine, the steam engine does use a fuel source. As you can see here, these are all the different things you can use. You can see you can either use charcoal, coal, a bucket of lava, some wood, wooden planks, saplings of whatever description there's a few of, and also sticks as well can be used as a fuel source. Because one thing to actually get it going, you simply, preferably not with a wrench because it doesn't work, you just right click on it, that'll open up this little GUI here, and you then just simply drop your fuel source into it. I'll just drop it charcoal in there, and it's not working at the moment for one simple reason. What it actually requires, as like all of them do, it does require a redstone signal to operate. And again, you can see the red powdery stuff coming out of the side of it, indication that it is now working. Again, it's not pointed directly at the pipes, that's why it's not working at the moment. You need to use the wrench to orientate the engine in the right direction, and there it's going. As you can see, also, it is a lot quicker than the redstone engine. And then it goes through this cycle of, again, going to green, then it'll go to like yellow, then yellow-orange, and then if it hits a solid red, yeah, this engine here will explode over time. It won't necessarily explode if it's being able to push the energy out of the engine. But if the engine itself builds up a lot of energy, that is then when the engine itself will explode. So yeah, see there you go, that's turned green. So as you can see, the engine is now speeding up. It's almost on par with speed with the steam engine. So yeah, so as you can see, it's now building up a bit of speed and a bit of energy. Yeah, and that's pretty much the stone engine. Its main sort of uses, what you'd probably want to use these for is, like you say, you got like the pump that's over here. You probably would like to use something like this to actually kick out a bit more energy towards it. If you want to connect an engine up directly to the pump. Again, you could do the same for a quarry. That might be another thing you could also do. But yeah, generally speaking, you wouldn't necessarily use this for that's to stop because it's used the bit of coal I put in there. As you can see, therefore, once that coal's used up, it then stops. I'll probably also point out with the coal and the charcoal, it will actually run for about 1.5 minutes before it runs out. The wood and the wooden planks and that, they obviously have a much lower or much less time of running. Like I think sticks and saplings only run for like about 15 seconds or something, and the wooden planks are only like 30 seconds or a bit over, about that much anyway. But the bucket of lava will last like about 15 minutes or thereabouts, give or take. So the lava will make it run a lot longer, but yeah, it's it's probably not going to be the best thing unless, of course, you've got a nice lava supply nearby. Alright, so that is those two engines. And now we'll look at the final one, and this one here is the combustion, or some might call the iron engine. Alright, so let's quickly bring this one up. Now, this is the GUI for the combustion engine. Now, quickly to show you how it's crafted. It uses iron gears, which you saw the stone gears. Well, that's just an upgrade on them. It's just simply you get a stone gear in the middle, and then 4 iron ingots around the side will give you a stone gear. And I'll quickly just find it because I know it's here somewhere. There is also a gold gear and a diamond gear. As you can probably imagine, that's just an upgraded version of each gear to get the respect. So you put an iron gear in there, four gold ingots around it for the gold gear, and the diamond gear is just a gold gear in the middle, and then the 4 diamonds around it to get the diamond gear. Okay, so how this thing works is you simply need to get the fuel source to make it work, and the only fuel source it has is lava, yes, as you saw just there, but it also uses oil and fuel. Now the oil, well, there's a little oil spill over there, a little oil spout, whatever you should call it. I might have to get one of you guys to actually tell me what it's called because I've completely lost it and can't remember. But you can grab some buckets off that, and then you can simply come over to your engine and place it in there, which I'll quickly just demonstrate right now. So there you go. That's got the bucket, drop the oil in there, and away it'll go. And then all you simply need is a redstone signal of some description to help operate it, and then just simply drop down your pipes. In this case, I'm using the conductive pipes. And again, it's not doing anything because it's not orientated the right way. Simply hit it with a wrench, and it'll automatically orientate to the nearest either engine or, in this case, pipes. So yeah, but that is basically what it is. The other side of what the combustion engine actually does, so that's where you can put your fuel into there. But this section just here is actually used for water, because even when this thing is just operating at with the fuel in there, it will automatically just overheat, and it needs the water in it to actually keep cool. Because if you do not have the water source in there, it will then overheat, get through all those different heat sections, like you were seeing before, like the redstone's on green now at the moment, and then hit orange, then hit red, and if it hit red, then it is in danger of exploding, and yeah, you could have a massive explosion. If anyone wants to see it, well, if you saw Direwolf 20's episode, I can't remember which episode it was, but it was in his season 3, yeah, he had about 3 engines which just literally destroyed his BuildCraft room, so it can be quite destructive. But yeah, this is what the engine is best used for, is to, as you can see, this is almost like a constant beam. It's like the little flick, but it's basically like a constant beam of energy that's going through the pipes. So that is what the combustion engine is best used for, is for transport or generating energy and then transporting it over to like your machines and things like that. So that is what this is best. That is what this engine is best used for. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I think we've pretty much covered most of the details. I'll just figure out things you can also do with these, which I might also just cover. I'll quickly just grab the, I'll just stick with the this one, just for argument's sake. If it blows up, it blows up. One thing you can also do with these is you can sort of essentially like make a chain of engines. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to get this to work, because I might just give myself a block of sand for a second. That'll do. I'm going to get some, boop. See, you can actually connect other engines up to it. Now I quickly just need to break them, because I want to give this a redstone signal. And crunch them down like that. And I'll give that a fuel source. And again, this is the fuel which you can actually get from the oil, which I mentioned in the previous video, but I'll get to that in a future episode. Now what you've actually done here is you'll see that I've got 3 engines connected to each other. Now, this engine is pumping energy into this one, which is then pumping energy into this one. And as you can see, we have a very solid line there. That's not going down at all. But you've got to remember, so because these engines are pumping energy forward, and this one here is going to start building up energy a lot quicker. So if I actually remove them, that one now, it's not actually connected to anything, but it is going to build up energy, and it will build it up a lot quicker because these two are now pumping their energy source into it. So the end result that will actually come out of this is these things are actually going to end up blowing up. Unless, of course, you do use pumping some water source into these. That's what these will do. These will eventually heat up and it will explode. So I think I might just leave this running for a bit, and hopefully that they don't run out of fuel in the meantime. Hopefully they won't. This one actually having the fuel source, this is actually more efficient than oil, so it should last longer than the oil. So, but again, I'm going to get into that details in a future episode, so you can stay tuned for that. But yeah, so again, that's one thing you can like piggyback them or chain them together, so you can get more energy to kick out. Kick out more energy into whatever source you want to actually kick it into. Actually, I'll just crank them up anyway. They don't have since they don't have the water in them, they will actually overheat. But yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is pretty much. Oh, there you go. This engine's now finally gone into like the yellow or orange stage. This is now pretty much getting to almost optimal range where it should get to. When it actually hits it, it'll be flashing between this color and red, and that's when you want to leave it. You do not want to necessarily break it away from that because that's when it's running at optimal range. This isn't doing too much because hey, it's got no fuel in it. Again, if you want to, I'll just put the stick in there. You can see that this is running down very quickly, and it's going to stop. Just go through that last little section, and that's it. So that's all that. It's very weak, unless of course you put in some lava into that. That'll keep it going for a bit longer. So yeah, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is pretty much how the engines work, all the different things you can do with them. Again, you can hook all these sort of machines up to, these engines up to all machines if you wanted to, but just a quick recap. These ones are best to generate your energy, so you can send the energy through the pipeline. That's the combustion engine. The steam engines are best to probably hook up to your machines directly, like your water pump, if you want to keep a constant flow of water coming into these, so these don't overheat, because these do require water. And of course then your redstone, The best thing that's used for, again, is just to help pump things out of chests into your pipes. You simply connect it up to your wooden pipe, and that's pretty much what that's more optimal use for. You don't have to necessarily use it for those things, but that is obviously what its optimal usage is for. Yeah, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is pretty much all the details that I really need to cover for these engines. I think I've pretty much covered most of it. So yeah, so don't hesitate to leave any questions if you have any. Yeah, so that's it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff as well. And until next time, keep cool, keep safe, and I'll catch you around. Goodbye. You guys wanted a big boom? Well, I mentioned you get a big boom if you leave your engines too long without cooling them down or anything. Yep, well, this engine, as you can see, is on the verge of doing just that. So he's bright red. It's on the verge of exploding. Hopefully it won't be too much longer. And so yeah, so the way to prevent it from exploding is if this combustion would be to put water in it to stop from doing it. Otherwise, you just simply try and if you can, just kill the redstone signal. That will actually stop it as well. And there goes the big boom. And as you can tell, that's a pretty big boom. That's a pretty big crater for a combustion engine, isn't it? So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, do not forget to cool your engines down, because that is what can happen. That's awesome. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, as again, thanks for watching. And yeah, so stay tuned, because the next video actually coming up, which I didn't mention when I ended it before, is the pumps and also the mining wells. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, so otherwise, keep cool, keep safe, and I'll catch you around. Goodbye.